And here it is in all its yellowness, the Ford Puma Gen-E. This is possibly the most important car Ford has launched in years.
Quick cut. If you're wondering what this counter is, I get a bit carried away in this video with the phrase, "it's a Puma," and I've said it again. Rather than edit it out because it's quite difficult, I thought we'd just have a bit of fun and count along with it. So join in and see if I missed any.
Yes, they do already have battery electric vehicles in their lineup. Think the Mustang Mach-E, the Ford Explorer, the Capri. But this is the first mass-produced EV based on a model that's already in their lineup. It's a Puma, just with a different powertrain and a slightly different design as well. I mean, this front flat grille, you don't need a grille on an electric vehicle because there's no engine to cool. So this harks to the design philosophy almost on the Mustang Mach-E and the Capri itself. Other than that, there's no real difference. The big buggy headlights, which I really like, by the way, the short bonnet with its louvres going all around the side. They have literally just taken a Puma, stuck a battery and electric motor in it and put it on sale. Even round the side, it's a Puma. It's very curvy. It's very different because sometimes we see nice sharp angles or nice smooth curves on electric vehicles. Depends what works, but for Ford, they've been thinking about curves for years. I remember in the original Focus when that first came out with its bulbous back end almost. You get these big 19-inch alloy wheels, which are flatter to aid the aerodynamics. But this is a nice car. It's stanced very well. In fact, it's a Puma, so you already know it. You know how it's quite short. You know how it stands well on the road. And if you don't already own a Puma, you've probably been behind one because it's one of the most popular cars in the UK at the moment. Now, this is a bit plain, to be honest with you. You don't have a long LED light bar that we see on some models, though you do get a nice Puma lettering across the back. You also get a spoiler which houses your third brake light. The rear window gives good visibility, but the best part, and you get an electric tailgate on this model as well, the best part is the boot space. 523 litres. On top, easily enough for about 4 suitcases, and under the flat floor, almost like a well, where you can easily put another couple of suitcases underneath. Overall, to look at, it's a Puma, it's a Ford. You wouldn't know that it's got an electric motor unless you're looking from the front. Inside the Puma Gen-E, again, the most Ford electric vehicle. The window switches, the switches on the steering wheel, the infotainment system is all the same or similar. Unlike the other electric vehicles, which are built in partnership with Volkswagen. You get a 12.8-inch screen behind the steering wheel. That's your driver display, giving you all your speed information and also battery charge and discharge status. You get another 12-inch touchscreen. That houses all of your vehicle controls. You get a little shortcut bar down the bottom, but ultimately you're still poking your way through the settings. That can be distracting, especially when you're driving, especially when you're trying to find those driving modes. I recommend Sport. The seating is fairly comfortable. Practicality is good too. You get a nice floating center console. There's a bin down the bottom here for plenty of storage. You've got a couple of drink holders. You've got a wireless charging port for your phone and an armrest with a little cubby holder as well. So all in all, it's comfortable. Quality-wise, well, there's a few little touches of leatherette on this dashboard. The steering wheel's a odd shape, an interesting shape, I should say. A little bit of material up here for your speaker and scratchy plastics as well. So 50-50 in terms of quality, but overall, when you're driving it, you're not really scratching the dashboard all that much. In the back, if you're a tall adult, you're going to have to fold yourself in. There is some legroom, but it's not going to be comfortable for a long journey. Also, the seating is a little bit uncomfortable on the backrest because the headrest ends up between the shoulder blades. You'll need to put that up then that reduces rear visibility for the driver. The bench itself is quite nice and firm, however, and you also get a decent headroom despite the sloping roof, especially with this panoramic or semi-panoramic sunroof in place. Rear seat passengers also get 2 USBs and a 12-volt charging port as well. But it's definitely more suited towards children or small adults rather than taller adults, especially for long journeys. It's a Puma. And no, that's stating the obvious because it is a Puma, but it feels just like the petrol version. It's great handling, it feels comfortable, it feels precise. I've almost forgotten that under the front is an electric motor and underneath me is a bank of batteries. The handling of this car is really nice. You turn in on a corner and it grips and you get confidence from that. There's very little body roll as well, and suspension soaks up those potholes that you are inevitably going to hit with ease. It does feel a little bit wallowy if you push it too much, but it also feels stable at the same time. It's so easy to forget this is an electric car. And I really, really do think it's a perfect transition vehicle to go from a petrol to an electric. It feels really familiar, and that's exactly what Ford want. There are a few niggles. First off, the steering wheel. Flat top and bottom. The Austin Allegro wasn't really ahead of its time. Yeah, you get great clearance on your knees if you're a taller driver like I am, but when you're turning a corner, it feels wrong. Perhaps one of the biggest niggles, though, is that a lot of the vehicle controls are in the infotainment system. So you can spend a lot of time looking down there than you are there. And that includes things such as drive mode, ADAS settings, climate control. And while you do get a narrow strip at the base for your climate control, it can be a bit difficult to touch and so on and so forth when you're at speed. The Puma Gen-E comes with a 43 kilowatt hour usable battery. That's good enough for around 226 miles of range. That's perfectly adequate for those who are driving around town or short motorway journeys. The smaller battery does allow you to charge from 10 to 80% in under half an hour, according to Ford as well. So it is quite practical, but if you want to go further, you might need to consider something bigger. Just like in normal EVs, you do get one pedal driving mode, which means when you lift off the accelerator pedal, you brake. In here, it's very, very hard. You lift off and you will accelerate quickly. It takes a lot of getting used to, and there's no way to dampen that either. I have found it to be a lot softer in other vehicles, so one to definitely bear in mind. You also get a lot of ADAS in here, advanced driver assistance systems. You get the intelligent cruise control, lane keep assist, intelligent speed assist, all of which keep you safe. Overall though, this is the Puma. It's a really nice car to drive. I can't emphasize that enough. It really feels natural. I've never jumped into a battery electric vehicle before and felt at home with it, and I do with this. It's probably the best BEV that Ford have produced. So this is the most Ford battery electric vehicle the car maker offers. Yes, the Mustang Mach-E, the Ford Explorer, the other one, they're good cars, they really are, despite the naming. But this is built on familiarity. You already know the Puma, and it is a Puma. Similar switchgear, similar driving dynamics, similar comfort, similar everything. Just under here is a different powertrain. If you're looking to move into an electric vehicle, you can't go wrong with the electric version of one of the most popular cars in the UK today. And starting at £29,995 on the road, it's also eligible for the government's incentive scheme. Full details can be found from your Ford dealer. Overall, it's a Ford. And overall, it's a comfortable drive and a decent electric motor.